So, welcome back to the Lift Your Life podcast. I hope everyone is doing grand. I hope everyone is doing good. We are now in November. Yes, we're in November when this is released. And that's just madness, isn't it, Laura? That we're in November already.
Crazy. My birthday month. I'm excited.
That is exciting. And you know what is exciting? Because now Halloween's out the way. I fucking hate Halloween. Everyone knows. I've got a question about Halloween, actually. It's so funny. Christmas is coming, so I am definitely getting my tree up within the next few weeks. I don't even care. I'm one of those people that's like, I just love it. So 4 weeks of, it's not even 4 weeks, isn't it, by the time Christmas is over? And it's not enough. We need like more time. But I thought I'd bring Laura back on because what we're now going to do, we've decided, we had a team meeting the other day, a formal team adulting meeting, that we want to bring a Q&A style podcast once a month where we're going to answer your questions covering everything related to what it is that we do, which is helping people out with their confidence, fitness, fat loss, muscle building, all that shebang, but also just giving you guys an opportunity to get to know us better. So ask us some funny questions, get to know us questions that might get us arguing, questions that might cause a debate. We love a good debate, don't we, Laura? We do. We don't, but when we do, we go off on one. So we put some question box on the socials and we got some questions. So I'm going to go in first with one of the questions that I got. And it is... See, some of them are specific to me and it's like, guys, like, it's questions for me and Laura. So...
How rude.
Okay, this is a really nice one to get started on. What has been the best day of your year so far?
Do you want me to go first?
I've got no idea. I really have to think about this one. So yeah, if you've got a date that springs to mind.
I know mine and it's really cute and
it better be something related to me. I better be involved in your day.
Okay, I need to change my answer then.
It's nothing to do with that your boyfriend or something.
No, it's not. It's actually not. It's not. It's the day my nephew was born.
Oh, he's taking a baby over me, mate.
Yeah, he's so cute. He was in a pumpkin yesterday, like actually sitting on a pumpkin.
I love it. Do you know what? I can't actually think of like a specific standout day this year. I've had loads and loads and loads of really, really bloody good days for different reasons. So days are, and that's not answering your questions, so whoever has asked it is going to be like, I didn't ask that.
This shoot is definitely one of them.
Definitely. This year's
I just remembered that was actually this year. Like it feels like so long ago. I just remembered it was this year.
It was.
That's so bad.
I know, it feels like longer, doesn't it? But that was incredible. Yeah. My own personal photo shoot was an incredible day because that was a journey and a half. And to be honest, and this is gonna sound really cringy, but the day where we had that meeting and we basically agreed that you were going to come on board and be a part of Lift Your Life coaching was a very, very special moment for me because obviously it was really, really exciting to have you on board. But from a personal fulfillment perspective, it was kind of a bit like a holy shit kind of moment. Like this has just gone from something that I've done as a side hustle in lockdown when I was bored for something to do. Honestly, that was where it all began. So now I've got like people working with me. It's crazy. So I think I actually had a bit of a moment on that day where I was like, ooh, this is big. Oh, this is scary, but kind of like it.
That.
Tell my mum
you'll get me emotional.
Like, Mum, I've got people working for me now and stuff like it's all just a bit crazy. So yeah, I can't pick one day unfortunately. So sorry that doesn't answer your question. I've had loads of awesome days, but the year is not out yet, so maybe the best day is yet to come.
Oh, there you go.
Laura, do you want to? I know you only got one like good question. Like I got all the ones. Laura got like nothing.
To be fair, like I did do a question box a couple of days ago, so maybe people just.
Well, next time, can you just not like get all your questions? Can you just plan it so that you get all the questions?
Literally. Yeah. Right. Let's see. So I've got one saying, would you say that online coaching is more worthwhile than having an in-person PT?
Oh, I like that.
Which I thought was quite interesting.
Yes.
Do
you want to
go? Or do you want me to start?
Yeah, I'll start on this one because I've actually done both. So I have worked as an in-person personal trainer and I've worked as an online coach. Now, I actually quit in-person PT about a year ago now. And there was two reasons for it. One was that I figured I could not balance two businesses because PT and online are very different. And the second was, well, the main reason that I went with the online was I figured that being an online coach allowed me to delve a lot deeper into how it is I could help my clients. I could be there for them more than just that 1 hour a week. And I was seeing so many better results, and my passion was there. Now, the reason I think PT doesn't work for a lot of people is a lot of people can commit to that 1 hour or 2 hours a week, and they put everything into that 1 to 2 hours a week. And don't get me wrong, the 1 to 2 hours a week are great training sessions. But for most people, with most personal trainers, the way that their model is structured, they don't really do much out of those 1 to 2 hour sessions. They kind of think, well, I've got a PT, so everything will be great. It's like, no, that 1 to 2 hours is like microscopic in your week. Everything else is what's going to make the difference you want to make, whether it is fat loss, building up healthier habits. It's for most people, they need that accountability and structure outside of the gym, to be honest with you. So if you are brand new to the gym and you have zero gym confidence, or you really want to learn up some specific skills in the gym, like I actually had a client leave me the other month because she really wanted to do strong woman training and focus purely on that and have an in-person PT to just literally teach her the ropes. So I was like, that's probably going to be better for you in that instance, and go for it. But if you want to lose weight and you know that nutrition is probably your biggest struggle, you don't have very good sort of habits and structure, anything else really where you will benefit from having the accountability on a more frequent basis, being able to go in more depth, having someone in your corner more often, and being able to help you holistically with mindset, with training, with nutrition, which is more people, I would say an online coach is going to be better for you. That's my personal perspective. Laura.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So I've had a PT in the past, and obviously I've got an online coach now, and yeah, just kind of the same as you said. I'm not saying all PTs are like this, but a lot of PTs will just give you that 1 or 2 hours a week that you're with them, and that's all you'll get from it. Like, you won't get anything else. Don't get me wrong, some PTs will do like more outside of that, but I think with online coaching you do get a lot more out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when I was a PT, I tried to do more outside of my training sessions. So I got them on my training app. I wanted to do check-ins. I was trying to communicate with them, get them involved in the client community. But what I was finding was it's a mentality thing of I'm committing to this 1 session a week. So that commitment is very much centered around that 1 session, which is what I was finding. So my check-in rate for my in-person was very, very low. Not many of them were showing up, doing what I'd asked outside of the gym. So for most people, I do genuinely think, and I'm not just saying this because I am one, that online coaching is going to be a better suited route. If you just want to get confident in the gym, if you want to learn a specific skill within the gym, I think PTs are great. I really, really do. I'm not going to throw shade on any of them. But for most people, this is who you want. I'm pointing this way, but I'm probably this side on Laura's screen, so she's probably like, what's she doing?
No, you're on that side.
Yeah, I'm on that side. Okay, that looks great then. Because that would have looked really stupid if she's like pointing at us.
I'm like, why are you pointing at nothing?
Just having a moment. Just having a mini dance.
It's not like you.
It's been a long day, you can tell, can't you? Right, okay, next question then. So, see, this one is more specific to me, but I think you could potentially answer it from the perspective of your struggles in a different context, which will make sense when I ask the question. So someone asked me, in your opinion, what was harder on you mentally, being overweight or underweight? So for people who maybe are a bit newer to my world, I'll give you a bit of a brief backstory of my life. So I have been at both ends of the scale, quite literally. So when I was 16, I was diagnosed with anorexia, so I was extremely underweight. Prior to that, I was overweight, and on the other side of that as well, after I had my disordered eating, it never really leaves you, but when I was classified as, anorexic, I then became overweight as well. So in terms of what was harder mentally, they both come with different challenges. So when you are in the depths of an eating disorder, you cannot see yourself as anything but larger than you are. You don't see yourself for how you are. When I look back at old photos of myself, when there was one I put on Instagram the other day in a reel when I'm dancing, and I took that video because there's not many pictures and videos of me from when I was unwell, but I remember that one because it was when I was in school, and you can see that my clothes are hanging off me. And for context, that t-shirt that I was wearing, I think it was whichever one it was, is like a kid's size 13 to 14, and I was 16. And it's like hanging off me. I couldn't see the wood from the trees. And it was very hard in the respect that you just can't see yourself as anything but big. So when you're getting told to eat more and you know you need to, you just have this constant melt battle in your head because you are so deprived of food. When you are so deprived of food, your anxiety levels will naturally increase because your stress hormones are increasing because you are so deprived of food. So you're constantly anxious. And anyone who struggles with any sort of stress or anxiety will know that when you're stressed and anxious, you don't make great decisions and your head's just all over the place. And sometimes you don't want food. So from that perspective, the mental battles that came with that were crazy. But being overweight came with its other mental battles, and that was, I remember constantly just looking in the mirror and feeling ashamed. I remember like group photos, and I just didn't want to be in photos, and I didn't want to feel like that. You know, going shopping with your friends in town when you were allowed on the train, and they just all picked clothes that they just wanted to wear, and I was like, I can't wear that. I can't look good enough in that, and comparing yourself to other people all the time and feeling like the fat friend and not wanting to be in photos and then seeing photos of yourself all the time and hating them was horrendous. And they are completely different struggles. I don't think I can say which one is worse. Obviously, one is classified as a mental illness and one isn't, but I don't think from the perspective of how mentally it made me feel, one was necessarily worse than the other. I don't want to go back to either extreme because I don't want to feel like that. And that is why I do this job, because I don't want people to be in either boat ever, because it's just not a nice place to be in any way, shape, or form. Laura, I know you've not struggled from my perspective with like the disordered eating, but
Hmm.
you've obviously got to, like when the photo shoot, for example, you've got to places where you've had to reverse
Yeah.
and build food up. So I guess you could take it from the perspective of dealing with body image struggles from that side of things compared to body image struggles when you were overweight, you know, comparing which is harder and the different challenges that come with those.
Yeah. Um, so mine's is kind of different. So when I was overweight when I was younger, like I don't think I actually really realized it until I look back now and I look back at photos and I'm like, crap, like I actually looked like that and I didn't care, and it just makes me feel a bit weird that I didn't actually fully realize it at the time. Um, so yeah, like obviously like I did lose a lot of weight, and then we done photo shoot prep and I lost even more weight. Nothing like extreme or anything. Um, and yeah, coming out of that, being at like the leanest I've ever been, coming out of that and then reversing and obviously gaining weight again has been really difficult
Mm,
because from being overweight, the last thing you think you're going to be doing is then intentionally gaining weight.
yeah,
And it's a very mentally like it's a mental struggle. It is, but it's got to be done. Do you know
yeah,
what I mean? Yeah, it's hard, but we're getting there.
we are. So would you say one was more challenging than the other, or are they just quite different ways of?
Well, I'd say it's probably more challenging now because, like I said, I didn't realize it at the time when I was overweight, so I
Yeah,
didn't find it that challenging. So yeah, probably now, because I think you always have that fear that you're going to go back to where you were,
yeah,
and for me, like it would take a lot for me to go back, like to get back to that place that I was in.
sure.
But that fear is just always going to be there if you do come from a background of being overweight. It's
It
just one of those
is.
things.
Absolutely, and I can fully relate with that. It's literally what I'm going through at this moment. So, for again, if anyone's new to the podcast and doesn't know much about me, I've got hormonal struggles that I've been going through for years. So, last year we tried to regain them, and during that process of me trying to regain my hormones last year, I did gain a hell of a lot of weight and probably actually got to the heaviest I've ever been. Now, we are trying to optimize things again now, and we're kind of like restarted again. It's not enough people have started again. You know, I'm not going to start again, but I have started again, and we're putting everything into it this time. And I do have that anxiety of how I felt last year was awful. When I got to the peak of the highest weight that I got to, it was just one of the worst feelings in the world. And I think I had a lot of pressure as well because of me being in the fitness industry. I was like, I can't look like this, like working in the fitness industry, you know. I've got to show up and look like a gym, and you know, there was so many other external pressures. So now that I'm in this process again of detaching from bodybuilding and putting the onus on health, which is going to come with weight gain inevitably, I have that fear of I don't want to go back to that. And it is really tough. And I do think that if you do come from a background of being overweight and you've gone through a dieting process, this is a really, really bloody good time to have a coach. Like for me, I never would want someone to lose all the weight and then leave. I would, but no, please stay. Please just do the after diet part with me, because that is the part that comes with the biggest mental struggle. It's harder than the diet. It's so much harder. Because you are going to have these anxieties of going back to who you were and those self-limiting beliefs kicking back in. I think that phase of the diet after the diet is probably one of the most underrated tools in terms of having someone for accountability. Because I've done it now, so I know you really haven't. You really haven't. So if anyone was to ever have or stick with a coach, honestly, that point, the after diet or the reverse, whatever you want to call it, is probably one of the key points in terms of nailing it, in terms of creating that longevity, I would say.
Yeah, totally agree.
Thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad we're on the same page.
No debates on that one then.
Yeah. I've got these from these annoying what's the question box app, and they send you like the most stupid ones, like, what colour is your wall? Yellow. No, it's not yellow, it's like beige. Does anyone really care? No. Someone's asked me about my hormone journey. I'm not gonna answer that on this one. That's one for another day. Someone's put, can we see more Lucy dance videos? I'm guessing from the the reel that I put on the other day. Do you know what?
Love that.
I really miss dancing. I really do miss. I wish there was like some good adult dance classes that weren't. When it comes to adult classes for stuff like this, right? There's two extremes, isn't there? There's like the serious professional dancers, and that's not me. And then you've got like fucking Zumba or something like that, where it's just like people who are like no coordination, just flailing their hands around. It's like, can we just not have a happy medium of people who've maybe had a dance experience in the back and, you know, something? But be great cardio. I'd really enjoy it, but
just start filming yourself dancing in your office.
Maybe I should. Well, with my new neon lights and like my Friday night raves and stuff, it's a great way to build some engagement. You know,
wild Saturdays.
That is literally what my Friday night. But you know what? The funny thing is, right? I'll probably do it as like a laugh, and I'll just like stick on some Madonna or ABBA or some shit that I love, like guilty pleasure, and just put my neon light thing, start dancing around, film it, put it as a reel, and it'll get like 1 million views. And then I put all these time these proper ones, and they get like 10, and it's like, why? We know what to do that. Like 10 of you have watched it. Can you just 10 more, please, at least? Okay. Next question. Michelle, one of our clients, has said, it's not a question. Well, we've asked for questions, so you know, but a challenge. Show me who can make the best high protein vegan dinner.
Literally, I'm not even gonna lie, I would not even know where to start.
I'm just gonna get a tub of vegan Perform Whey and just put it on a plate, mate, and that's gonna be pretty big. You know?
I'm sorry, I've already failed at that.
Yeah, obviously, I do understand vegan protein sources because we need to for like we've got a lot of vegan clients and stuff. But
yeah, nothing against it, but it's not me.
Put it in the bin because I do like my animal protein sources. So
yeah, you know what though? I like a wee corn nugget. I've tried them before. They're quite nice.
Corn sausages, to be fair, are nice. The issue with a lot of vegan and vegetarian like corn and stuff is they're not like purely high protein. With pretty much
they're quite low.
Option, to get your protein, you then have to have like quite a significant amount of carbohydrates and fats as well. So it is going to be always more challenging, like especially when calories are getting lower and you want to keep protein high, it becomes really hard because your trace fats and carbs are like pretty big. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's a lot harder. I will say that to do the whole high protein shebang as a vegetarian or vegan, but it is doable. But it does come with its challenges because we can get a lot of pretty much pure protein sources, right? Like like chicken and whey protein, which is there's like trace nothing. Unfortunately, they don't get that luxury. So yeah. Okay, this is a good one. Best motivational reminders you give yourself when struggling.
I don't know.
Okay, I'll tell you. I'll do mine.
Yeah.
So for mine, there's two things for me whenever I'm going through some sort of struggle, whether it's a struggle with body image, whether it's a struggle with progressions in like, I don't know, things are going wrong with work, things are going wrong with the gym, family struggle, stresses, whatever it is. The first thing is I always just think, is there anything I can do about this, right? Is there anything I can actually tangibly do? Or is it just one of those things? If it's just one of those things, as hard as it is, you just got to accept it and just go, it is what it is. There's nothing I can do. The only thing I can do is manage my own emotions and look after and nurture my own emotional well-being, whatever that is, whether I need to be selfish and take some more time for myself or just go out and go for a walk and clear my head. I can do something for myself to make myself feel better. I can go have a bath. Everyone loves a good bubble bath. That's the first thing. If there is something I can do about it, I'm proactive. Instead of just being like, oh, woe is me, life is terrible, I'm going to go cry and smash something. It's okay to have those emotions, don't get me wrong, but it's always what you do about it that is going to dictate the outcome in the end. So let's just say, for example, I've had a load of work stress, and it's like, it's annoying, but how can I fix that? Is there something I can do? Is there something I can change? Is there something I can implement? And if there is, it's like, well, let's just plan it and do it. And then there's two more actually. The second to last one is that I'm a very big believer in like the universe, the power of energy, all that stuff. Some people are like, oh, hippie woo. Some people are like, yes, queen, all about that. The secret, power of now, law of attraction, gang. But I do genuinely believe that things happen for a reason, and I do put my trust and faith in the universe, because whenever I've had struggles, I've always come out of the other end. And I do think that whenever you do have a struggle, it can teach you so much about yourself, because if you can ride that wave of struggle of things being shit and you can get through that, then when stuff's great, you're going to absolutely rock it. Everyone can do great when things are going great. Everyone can. But being able to do things when tough times are tough or you're struggling, that's where the magic happens, and that's what separates people. And that's what I always kind of keep in the back of my mind. If I can just ride this low, I'm going to come out the other side stronger, better, and good things are going to come. And then the last one is why. If it is relevant, of course, like if it's like family stress and stuff, it's irrelevant. With my own goals and like business and fitness and health and things, it's always thinking about the bigger picture and the why. So if you're struggling with motivation, if you're struggling with maybe feel like you're not getting there fast enough or whatever, it's just remembering why it is you're doing this and why it's so important to you, and getting really, really clear and deep with that, because that will keep you going. I am going to have struggles on this health journey, not being able to do the whole bodybuilding thing and watching my weight go up and that sort of thing. But it's like, well, why am I doing this? I'm doing this because health is everything. I don't want to end up with loads of health issues a few years down the line, at 30. I don't want to potentially hinder my opportunity to have a family at 24. So these are very, very powerful reasons why I'm doing what I am. So those are my things. And I've just gone on a complete lecture there. So I'm going to move on to Laura, because I'm just going to start ranting about thinking of some sort of motivational speaker. Really
not like you. You know what? I am really bad when it comes to stuff like this. Like, I'm really good at giving people advice, but I'm really bad at taking my own advice. So see if, I don't know, for example, say if I'm in the gym and having a crappy session, I will go on a stop. But see if that was somebody else that I was with, I'd be the first one to say it's fine, these things happen, we all have sessions like this, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But I just won't listen to that myself. I'm really bad for it.
I do genuinely think that coaches are the best at giving advice, but we're not the best at taking our own. We can take
Literally.
it, we don't take our own advice. There's sometimes, and this is why I actually quite like my job, because sometimes when I'm doing check-ins with people and giving people feedback and advice, I'm a bit like, shit, I'm not doing this.
That's me.
I need to pull myself out on this. I'm banging on to this person about the importance of downtime and self-care. You're not doing anything for yourself this week, Luz, so you need to sort yourself out. So what I do actually really enjoy about this job is it actually reminds myself of things that I need to start doing more for myself as well, by raising the awareness for other people. But this is why I have a coach, because if I didn't, I would be a hot mess, because I need that accountability to do these things. We're not robots. People think we're robots. If you're a coach, you're a fitness, you're hardcore, nothing phases you. Well, it freaking does. And this is one thing that me and Laura are not afraid to put out on social media, which is how we're actually feeling. What's actually, you put on the other day, didn't you, about you being struggling, I'm probably at some point this week about what's been going on with me, with my hormone journey and how I've been feeling. Because we're not sunshine rainbows. Yes, we have these, see if you can see a picture there, lovely shiny pictures of ourselves. And yes, maybe have got the habits and the mindset and the routines slightly more ingrained. We've been doing it longer, but it doesn't mean that we're perfect. It doesn't mean that we're robots. We still have our struggles as well. And I want people to see that we're normal people and that it's okay to not be like 100% all the time, but it's what you do about it that matters.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I was having a chat with one of my clients today, and she was saying how she was struggling with like food and stuff, and I
Yeah.
asked her to elaborate, and she literally, I'm not obviously not going to say what she said, but what she said is exactly what I've been struggling with, and I literally said to her, I was like, look, I totally understand because I'm literally going through the exact same thing right now. And she's like, wow, like it's just so nice to know that I'm not alone. I was like, but you're not. Like we all go through struggles and we all have them. Just some people don't always talk about them. But yeah, like
Exactly.
it's always something that I'll be open and honest about.
100%. And at the end of the day, I don't care if people don't like me for it. I don't care if people think, oh, she's not this perfect fitness person. I don't want her to be my coach. Well, I don't want to work with you then. If you think that the whole world is sunshine rainbows and that we're the kind of, that everything's perfect in our lives, then no. Because I don't want people to aspire to that. I don't want people
Mm.
to aspire to perfection. Because I've been saying this to so many people this week, that striving for perfection is actually going to be worse than striving to be good enough. Because
Yeah.
perfectionism is always going to let you down. When you fall short of that, you're always going to feel bad about it. You're always going to feel not good enough. You're always going to feel ashamed, frustrated, whatever. If you go for good enough and you've given your best in the given context, bang, you're going to do good. You can't be disappointed when life doesn't go your way. So don't strive to be perfect. Perfect doesn't exist. So I said it here. So don't believe social media.
A motivational speech, Lizzie. I love it.
I don't know, I feel quite motivational today. Something in the air. Does Laura dislike Halloween as much as you do? Did she celebrate?
I actually didn't do it. I went pumpkin picking. I don't, nah, I can kind of take it or leave it. Like, I like Halloween films and stuff, but I don't ever really do anything for Halloween. But
I just hate
not
it.
for not for any particular reason.
I just, I think things are quite cute. Like, I do think like little pumpkins and stuff are quite cute, and pumpkin spice coffee's cute, and I like the whole autumn vibes. But Halloween night is just a pain in the back. I used to hate it when I was at home, and you've got little kids coming to your door and just people everywhere, and it's just weird, man. Like I just found it so weird, and I just don't like it. So, well,
I actually see until this podcast, I never knew you hated Halloween until you mentioned it like a wee while ago.
like as a kid, even like dressing up as a kid, I was like, I don't want to dress up. I'm like, you got to dress up. It's Halloween. It's like, I don't want to dress up. I don't want to. I want the sweets, but I don't want to dress up. Someone's like,
Yeah.
you can't just do that. I don't know what it is, and I found it weird. I remember doing it at uni and dressing up, and I'm like, this is just so fucking weird. We're all grown adults dressing up. Like, this is just so strange. Like, what is this? Like, I don't know. It's just not my thing. I just think it's and people get so like weird about it. Like, so I don't know. Like, at least with Christmas, right? Um, there is like a cultural meaning behind it, like why we're celebrating. And I know we kind of forget about the religion, but there is a reason. It's like Halloween. It's like there isn't. It's just people just like throw some witches and vampires out. It's like the fuck. Okay, this is a really, 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 really good one.
Okay.
Anything you've learned about working with each other you wish you'd known sooner?
Mm,
That's one to get you thinking, isn't it?
not that I can think of off the top of my head. Like, obviously, we've been working together in the sense of you've been my coach for like way over a year now. So I feel like, well, I like to think I knew you pretty well anyway.
Yeah, we did. We're besties.
So yeah, I don't. I mean, there might be something, but nothing I can think of off the top of my head.
No, I can't think of anything either. I'm wondering if this was meant from the perspective of like coach client or like business buddies. The thing is, right?
We do keep it separate though,
We
as
do,
well.
absolutely, yeah. And I don't know if people realise that, but I have two phones. I have a work phone and a personal phone, and on my personal phone, Laura speaks to me about business things, and on my business phone, Laura is my client. And we literally, it's almost like I'm speaking to two different people sometimes. We're having multiple conversations at once. We'll be talking about business stuff on here, and then she's sending me phone videos on my other phone.
Yeah, literally.
Then, but it works really, really well that we can have that separation, and we do keep our conversations separate because we do
Yeah.
have different relationships on the go. There is
Like
that.
we'll be having a chat like something work wise, and I'll be like messaging you on Trainer Eyes like, oh my god, I just like ate a whole bar of chocolate, help. Like while we're having another conversation about work, like it's yeah.
You'll be texting me on your personal phone like, oh, I'm just loving life at the moment. I'm loving working with all these clients. Life's amazing. This is the best life. And then on the other phone, it's like, Lucy, I can't cope. I'm falling apart. I'm struggling. And it's like, oh no. That
Make up
is,
your mind.
I know, it's like, am I
Yeah.
speaking to the same person here? Do I celebrate or do I sort her out on there? I'd rather celebrate. She can sort herself. No, I don't. I never leave her. And that's as well. She doesn't get treated any differently because she is I don't give her special priority as a client, and I also don't neglect her as a client either. It's like that relationship is staying the same. This is just a new
Yeah.
relationship which we are having, and it is working absolutely really, really, really well. And I enjoy both sides to it. And in terms of the question, I'm just trying to like think about it. You wish you'd known sooner working with each other, learn anything you've learned about. I think the thing is, right, there's always going to be things that maybe clash or maybe things that don't work straight away, but that's just the nature and dynamic of relationships. And to be fair, we've
Mm-hmm.
not had any huge like clashes with anything, I don't think, at any point. Whenever there's been an issue, it's just been something that we've been able to iron out, and it's been quite natural and normal. And I
Yeah.
think that's why we've obviously had a very long-standing coach-client relationship, but now we're also working really well together within the business because we just get on very, very well. We have a lot of mutual respect for each other. We know when to have the banter. We know when to be serious.
Mm-hmm.
We trust each other. Like, I will tell Laura anything, and I feel she will tell me anything. And I think that is just the secret to great coach-client relationships is trust. If you can't trust your coach, you can't tell them about things. It's never going to work. You don't have
Yeah.
to tell them your life story. You don't have to tell them every single detail, but you need to be open and honest about feelings. And you've always, since day one, been open and honest about your feelings. Whenever you've had a struggle, I've known about it. And that's really helped me to help you.
Mm-hmm.
And from a work perspective, I couldn't ask more of it. Everything I ask her to do, she does. Anything she wants to know more about, she asks on the same day. So yeah, and that's a really like annoying answer because
We just gel. We just gel.
we just gel and we just vibe. But if you can get, I just think the right things happen for the right reasons. Again, universe, stars aligning, hippie, what's the. But everything happens for a reason, and it's like it was almost like I was meant to find Laura to work with her as a coach client, and then she was meant to stay, and we worked together. So yeah, when we do eventually have some big drama and beef, because there probably will be at some point, but if we have something really stupid, won't we? I couldn't
Yeah.
imagine having like a serious argument about like someone said this or someone's done that. It would be something really pathetic, like
And then
oh,
we'll just like start laughing about it.
like Laura would come to my house when I say house, it's not a house, oh, it's an apartment. When we had the Christmas do, and she'd like knock my perform away and spill it over, and maybe I was being hormonal, and then I'd cry and then like kick her or something. That's probably like the best drama you'd probably ever get. But even then, I'd probably be like, mate, it's just fucking protein, It's the cream of rice cupboard, then we've got issues. But
Oh yeah.
that's got a lot smaller since you last came. I'm really trying to
Really?
yeah, we're down to
Oh
one
yeah.
shot. I'm so
Wow.
proud of myself.
Yeah, that's really good actually.
I know. We improved, don't we?
Absolutely.
Right. Any more questions that one I wanted to ask? Well, this one's very you from a good client, Karen. Legend. We love you, Karen. Best flavour of Monster.
Okay. I feel like white, you just can't go wrong with a white Monster.
Can't go wrong with a white Monster.
But I do also love the pink one, the Rosa. Doesn't taste like the white one, no matter what anyone says. I don't care what they say. I love the purple one as well, the grape one. And then there's one that I very rarely see, and it's like a pale blue. That's really nice. But I rarely see it.
Is that just the blue one, or is it the mango one?
No, it's like a really pale blue, like a baby blue.
I think it's just blue, isn't it? I don't know what the flavour is.
Yeah, white is OG.
I think white is the OG. Yeah, I agree. I just go through like phases and moods. Like I went to go get one the other day because I had a really long day of work. I was like, I need some more caffeine. Caffeine addict. I'm proud. There's nothing to be proud of at all. Just saying. I was like, I really want one. I really fancy one. So I went up to the shop to get one because we've got a petrol station in us that has like so many like variations of Monster and Rain, C4, and all those. And I was just like, I don't know what I want. Because sometimes I really like the watermelon and the pineapple. And then
Well, the
sometimes
pineapple is good, to be fair.
I like
I
the
don't like
one. Sometimes I
Mm,
like mango. I think it's just mood, and I go through
yeah.
I go through phases of stuff, and it's like everything. Honestly, like anything. Like sometimes, what's your favorite protein? I'm like, well, what day is it? Like some days I like this, some days I like that. What's your favorite cream of
And
rice?
it depends what you're having it with as well.
Who you're having it with, and what mood you're in, and how hungry you are, and there's so many different things that go into it. So if I had to have one for the rest of my life, and I could only have one, I'd probably say wine.
Yeah,
Because it's
me
quite
too.
unique, isn't it? Like other ones, you can get some sort of similar diet beverage pretty much that would
Mm,
kind of match it, but there isn't anything that tastes like white, is there?
yeah,
So for that
yeah.
reason, I'm getting quite like my head's
You're
getting.
getting right into this.
I know. I'm like, I don't want to make a wrong decision. It's like, well, nothing's fucking happening. It's not
The
million
end of
pound
the world.
it's called who wants to be a millionaire question. It's like there's no right or wrong answer, hon. You just have what you want. Final one that I got that I want to cover, I think it's quite relevant to where it is what are your hopes and expectations for your clients over the Christmas period? And I thought that
Oh,
was
that's a good one.
an interesting one because I'm going to tell you what mine are because you're one of them, so you're going to listen. In that, I'm actually going to do a webinar. I do monthly webinars for my clients covering various topics, whether it's something relevant to where we're at. So, like New Year, we also like a goal setting one. But sometimes we'll just do a topic that I've been asked lots of questions about or people are interested in. So we're going to do one on Christmas. The reason being is that I have two mentalities around the Christmas period. The first one is that this is the first Christmas in like years where, touch wood, we're going to have no levels of restrictions. There's no masks, there's no tier systems, no bubbles, none of that bullshit. You can just go and celebrate the way that we should. So there's going to be a lot of people have missed that. And I understand how important that is to people, to have that celebration, to have that letting your hair down and just having a good time because it's so good for the soul, it's so good for the mentality. I'm not a social person, I'm very much an introvert, but whenever I have some sort of celebration and social gathering around Christmas, I don't know if it's the music or just the general energy, it's incredible and it all just uplifts your spirits. So I want people to have that. I really do. So I want people to go and have the socials and not be stressing so much about the calories and macros and that sort of thing. However, what I don't want is Christmas socials can last all month. Christmas parties, we start ours, don't we, on is it the 3rd of December, our first one? Yeah. So Christmas socials for people start December through to, well, obviously we go into the new year, don't we, celebrations. So that's a month. Now, if you're going to use that as a month of purely just thinking, well, it's Christmas, fuck it, you would going to get to January and you're going to be very, very disappointed and unhappy. And what I don't want is anyone to get to January to feel like they've undone everything basically and feeling disheartened and upset. So I want people to find that happy medium, and that's what I'm going to be discussing. So that's going to look different for everyone, but I want people to be able to have maybe some more untracked elements. But I don't want people to get to January and feel like they've undone their hard work, because yes, in the moment you're going to feel amazing, but then the aftermath, like I was saying to you, how it makes you feel, when you look at yourself and you're like, oh, I don't want anyone to feel that. I don't want people to think they've undone all of their hard work, because there is absolutely no need to. So what I'm going to be doing is working with everyone individually to establish my expectations, work out their expectations, what it is. Because I've got one client, I actually had a call with her the other day, and she was like, I'm not really doing Christmas this year, I've got nothing going on, so I just want to diet over the whole Christmas. I was like, right, okay. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. So everyone's going to be different, but it's working together. But I want for most people to have that balance. I hate the word balance, but that balance both, because I want people to enjoy the moment, but I don't want the moment to pass and people feel so frustrated and upset that they've taken any steps back either.
I'm going to put it out there right now, but I will probably turn into a pig in a blanket by the end of December, because I will eat so many of them.
Or if you tell yourself you will, you will. And this is the thing, right?
I just love pigs and blankets.
You can have a pig in a blanket, you can have 10, but if people
have a whole pack.
A lot of people tell themselves, I'm going to struggle over the Christmas period. There's no way I have self-control. There's no way. It's like, if you're telling yourself that, you are literally already setting yourself up to just go and eat shit over Christmas, the entire period.
I think.
Go for it.
No, you go.
I've ranted a lot about Christmas. It's your time to shine.
No, I was just going to say, I think it is important. Like, I think from what I remember last year, we had like obviously Christmas, I didn't track Christmas Day, and then I think I had like another couple of days that I chose throughout December
Yeah, that's what we
or
did.
around about New Year that I didn't track as well. So I
Yeah,
think it's just taking into consideration what sort of plans that you're going to have within that month and how you want to go into that, like how you want to be able to account for that, because you can account for them. Nine times
absolutely.
out of ten, you can account for um your social plans that you're going to be having. So yeah, it's just kind of just about being
It is, and this
mindful and balanced.
because if you have multiple social occasions and you don't have any sort of mindfulness about it or create any sort of balance, without sounding blunt, and I think people are so polarized about this as well, right? In the fitness industry, you almost have to become polarized about Christmas. He's like, it's Christmas, just do what you want, make your best life, have memories, fuck macros. And then you've got the other side of the spectrum, which is like, no, no days off, you've got to be accountable. If you don't be accountable, you're gonna be a fat shit over Christmas. It's like, why can't you just be in the middle? Why can't you just be mindful and accountable to an extent? Because if you don't, you will gain weight. And yes, I've said it. I've said you're going to gain weight over Christmas. Yes, you will. And it's how people are going to feel about that, which is why I don't want people to. It isn't
Hmm.
about the number on the scale. It's about them seeing it jump up 10 kilos in a month, and then they feel that they've undone all those months of hard work, and they feel down and disappointed and upset. And that doesn't need to happen.
Yeah.
But like we did last year for a lot of people, what we did is we said, right, if you've got socials every weekend, I want you to pick like a couple of occasions where you're just going to go and enjoy it. Don't worry about the calories, don't worry about the macros, don't even worry about factoring it in. Just go and enjoy yourself, be present. Because there's going to be some occasions, right, where it's so goddamn easy to just account for it. If you've got a work to do and just go into a bar for a couple of drinks, well, that's pretty straightforward to be accountable to. There'll be ones where maybe you're going for just a meal with your mates, or like you're going to like a Christmas market and you know you're gonna have a hot chocolate there or something. It's like, right, just save 400 calories, have a hot chocolate, have a lint, someone's hand, Christmas elves handing them around, pick up a lint.
Hmm.
It's just about being mindful, because you can have both. You
Yeah,
really can. I'm so excited for our Christmas ones though.
I can't wait. I honestly can't wait. I need to book my train.
Oh my god, you need to book your train, man.
My
The
God,
venue
watch them be cancelled.
the one we're going to in Leeds is buying. Yeah. And this is the thing, on those Christmas occasions, I'm not going to be like watching what anyone's eating. I'm just like, can I just eat? It's Christmas.
We've got a Christmas night out 2 weeks in a row.
I've got so many socials, right? I've got 2 Christmas parties. Not that anyone listens to this even cares anymore. My dad's birthday.
Everyone's gone.
Everyone's at this point. But yeah, that's what we're doing for Christmas. If you care, we're having some great parties, some great time, because we love Christmas. We celebrate, and that's how we want our clients to manage Christmas. And yeah, we want to
Absolutely.
I forget sometimes that we're actually on this podcast, Laura. We're not just chatting about,
I
like our
know.
actually, no, we need to kind of
They're ranting a bit.
yeah.
People don't care anymore.
People couldn't care less. I swear I had another question that I wanted to answer on that anonymous app. That was actually really, really good.
We'll give you a minute to find it.
Okay, yeah, it was a good one. I'm finding it hard to be honest with my coach about things. How do I change this?
See,
I've got a really
what?
blunt answer.
Well, I was just gonna say I've never been in that position, so I don't entirely know how this person feels. But at the end of the day, if you're not open and honest with your coach, how are they meant to help you?
Yeah,
They can't help you if they don't know what's going on.
yeah.
And yeah,
There's 2 things that could be going on here. One, it could be your own extreme sort of self-criticism where it's like, I don't want to let people down. I'm scared, I'm ashamed. And that's okay to have those feelings. If you have come from like a past of, not maybe succeeding with your diet, or you have struggled, or you've got a lot of self-doubt, a lot of self-critical thoughts, you are going to have those emotions. And no one wants to show up, being maybe letting people down, or being honest about how they're actually feeling, or being honest about not being able to stick something. No one does. People want to show up succeeding. Of course they do. But usually, 9 times out of 10, if you don't feel like you can be honest with your coach, they're probably not the coach for you. And I'm going to say that openly and honestly, because I've always spent my time in researching people that I'm going to work with, and it's been important for me to know that I can click and connect with them. Because if I can click and connect with them and relate and be honest with them, it's going to work. And you need to be able to have that relationship with your coach where you can feel honest, and you want someone whose approach to your honesty aligns with you as a person. So some people need that, well, that's not good enough, try harder, quite blunt approach.
Hmm.
Some people maybe need a bit more soft, some people need something in the middle. I've got a coach who is very good at knowing how to speak to me when I'm honest about her. She either knows to go, Lucy, just fucking sort yourself out, or if she knows that I'm actually struggling, will be kind about it, and listen and talk through it with me, because we've got that relationship. And I think we're quite similar, aren't we? Sometimes I'm like, Laura, mate, come on, just sort yourself out. And other times I know that you are struggling, so we talk about it. We talk about emotions. We talk about what can we do to improve. I listen. But if you can't be honest with your coach, it isn't going to work. It's not going to work. So I will just reevaluate, are they the coach for you? There may be nothing wrong with them. They may be incredible. They may get sensational results. They may be a lovely person, but maybe they're just not right for you. So do your research and this is the thing, when researching for a coach, don't just research their client results or how many followers they've got or how good they look or anything like that. Watch their stories. If they've got YouTube or podcasts or something like that, go listen to a few and just think, do I connect with this person? Can I relate? And if you can't, they're not for you. Mic drop.
Yeah.
Mic drop. Which is why I do this podcast.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
And think, oh, she's awesome. She's not.
She's so cool, but she was my coach.
But no, I think to be honest, this podcast probably puts more people off. They look at my social media and think, oh, she's cool. Listen to the podcast and think, no, not in a million years. I've got my small tribe of people who think I'm amazing. You're all weird as well, so we're all sound. But yeah, no, that's all the questions answered. So thank you for everyone who has made it this far and listened to us ramble for 46 minutes. We are going to do this on a monthly basis, so we will get another lot of questions out in about a month's time, and we'll do this all again. And of course, if you ever do have any questions and you don't want to wait until the next episode, just slide in the DMs. We are always happy to help, and obviously we'll do questions throughout the week as well, so feel free to ask us in there. What I'll do is, if you don't follow us, I will leave both of our Instagram handles below. But I think most people come to us from Instagram. But if you didn't, you just found us. Hi, amazing. And go give us a follow, because we post more stuff on there and we're just as weird and annoying on there. But, we move. And I think we should wrap up the podcast there, don't you?
Yeah, probably a good idea.
I think it's a good idea. See you on the next one, guys, and catch you in a bit.